All right, so we are back here at the boiling hole again today. We have the crew, Guy and Evan Spire. We got Kyle. Joining us for moral support this week is Tracy and Nicholas, sporting some really fantastic looking merchandise. I love it. And then over here rounding out the group is Michael Hatcher. And of course, my son, who is now a 12-year-old. How does it feel to be 12, buddy? Yeah, you ready to beast this thing? The return to the boiling hole. That thing ate him up last year. Coming in for the interview. What's your thoughts on the boiling hole?
Good.
Not good? You just got to go. You gonna flare boof it?
Maybe.
Yeah, you're gonna do that boof on the side, avoid the hole.
Yeah.
I think you should plug the hole one time. It's a little less water.
Okay.
And what are you gonna do if you go underwater?
Try to roll.
Try to roll. He can roll. We just got to get him to try it when he's in the river. It's a little bit chilly today. The high is going to be 66. It was 32 this morning. It is 12:30, so we got a pretty good warm up. He's got a nice IRX jacket on, a little big for him, but I think it'll be his best friend when he gets in there. How do you think?
Good.
You look like a stud.
It's a little big.
It's a little big, but you look good. You ready for it?
Yeah.
So here we are. It's the return to the boiling hole. Sparta style.
So the last time we were here at the boiling hole, the seam on the right side of this rapid just gobbled Pete up, as you saw a minute ago. And that would give people problems today as well. The way to counter that seam is to stay a little bit left and in boat angle right, which you see I point slightly to the right as I'm going through the rapid. Pete does the same. He could have pointed maybe a little further right. His boat's a little smaller, so the water does more to him. But you see he points a little into the seam with his nose, and that kind of counters the rotational effect that the rapid has on your boat. Evan comes down through the meat of the rapid and misses the seam entirely, which is good, and just subs out a little bit. Guy on that right side, which is the danger side, almost dropped an edge too far. Almost got him, but he pulled it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pete, that was almost a swim.
You weren't that close. Here we go. Come on, Mike.
So this rapid got Mike last time, and here he comes right in the sweet spot and does a good job. He just really needs to relax his core and loosen up. And then we have Kyle. Some reason coming in on that right side again.
You got your glasses? You're good. You're fine. All right, just go down the bank. Just pull out right down there. This is a skill you should practice.
I figured I'd be your first swimmer, Bill.
No. Oh, you're good, man. How does it feel to be the first swimmer bell of the day?
Real cold.
I'll do a really detailed walkthrough of everything you did wrong so that you can watch it on the video and learn from it.
Welcome to Kyle Cam, where we discuss Kyle on camera.
So I thought we would break this rapid down here at the boiling hole because it seemed to give the guys a lot of trouble both this time and other times we've come. There are plenty of different ways to run this rapid and others, but it seems like that right-sided entry seems to draw guys in like a moth to a light bulb, but it's not actually the best in terms of a beginner trying to get down through here. The easier route is the more direct route from the river left entry, which allows you to line up and run straight down the meat of the current, depicted by the blue arrow there. And then that would put you coming right through the current into the bottom hole with no side seams to get tangled up in. But there's a rock here on the right side about 3/4 of the way through the rapid that causes the water to pillow up, resulting in upward force. And if you combine that with the force of the water coming through the flume, that folds up underneath that pillow and causes the seam, which is the red line. And you have to drive that ferry all the way across the rapid to get away from that seam. And it's hard to do, especially at lower water when there's rocks like that one, which kill all your momentum and speed and drop you right on the seam with the right side lifted, and then your left side drops down into that flume, flipping your boat. And it's not just Kyle, it almost got Guy. That's exactly what got Pete last year, and also what got Guy later in the day.
Y'all gotta stop coming in on that right side.
So I want you to watch Mike here, and what I've been trying to work with him on is relaxing his core and his hips. As you see, he's very rigid and his paddle strokes are erratic still. And everything he's doing is a reaction to feeling tippy and has almost no relevance to the directionality of his kayak. So while there's kind of a lot of erratic, frantic looking paddles, it really doesn't affect the trajectory of his boat. So if he would relax his core and do it more like this, I'm coming through here, a little stroke, a little active blade right there, a stroke there, and then I'm through. I'm letting the boat work, and then I'm paddling to help get through here and using edging. Watch Evan, he's paddling forward, not supercharging too fast through there, but it's aggressive paddling. He's trying to affect positively his outcome, as is Pete. Strokes where they need to be to keep him moving forward on track. A little edging there at the end. And we'll watch Pete again from his helmet cam. The first thing he does in the top part of this rapid is to boat angle right. And that helps right about now when you start ferrying through that current. You don't want to get washed too low onto that rock. So now a left stroke and he's right where he needs to be. A right stroke and then a left lean. And then he sees the seam and puts a good left stroke in there and noses into that seam, which counters what that current is trying to do to his boat. It counters the flipping. Almost forgot to lean right coming into that little broach situation, but he pulls it out. Nice job. Now here we go with Mike coming through here. A lot of the little slappy strokes. Not doing anything right now, and he's washing through there sideways. Now you can see some more strokes. It's all about trying not to tip over. Just slapping like he's trying to pop the bubbles on the top of the river. Now he's washing through there backwards. All of it is just a measure to keep from flipping, which is instinctual, and we've all been there, but I need to get him to relax, trust his edging, and then paddle forward. Here Guy gets washed again, but he switches quickly to plan B and plugs the slot move. Didn't quite boof that, which is why his nose went down so deep. But he's upright and he got through. We're all learning. Kyle here gets washed up on the rock, as did Mike. Now he's backwards. Coming down through here backwards. There's nothing wrong with running backwards. And he kind of wedges up on the rock. When the run goes not the way you expect it to, which is quite more often than you would expect, it's important to stay loose, and he did a good job doing that.
How'd you feel in the boiling hole, buddy? Nervous? How about you, Evan?
Easy.
Easy? We're nervous at all?
Nope.
Right on. How about a seal launch? You ready for that?
For some
Post-swim interview. I was gonna offer Kyle a cookie, but then I remembered cookies are for winners. And so I'll just eat this while I talk. If you'll notice, Kyle's wearing different glasses. That's because there is a pair of glasses at the bottom of this rapid, which we are offering a River King reward for the Oakleys at the bottom of the boiling hole. For you young guys that live around here and want to earn a substantial reward, I think he was offering $3,000 or $4,000 to whoever brought him back to him. So.
Well, I don't know about that, but I will gladly offer a reward because they are prescription.
Yep.
And I'd kind of like to have them back.
So now he's into glasses number 2.
Yeah.
No lanyard on those either, but hopefully our swims are behind us. So I'm gonna eat this winner's cookie. It is especially good today. Everybody, Kyle is having a moment. We all have been there. We've all had these moments. The river just punched you in the face, knocked your glasses off and kept them. So, so now he's got to get back on his horse. Everybody at home, I want you to all start yelling, Kyle, 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 Kyle. Can you hear him? Kyle, keep it going. Ready?
Gets an unfortunate launch and over rotates and also comes in sideways. His skirt implodes upon hitting the water, and he's a swimmer and wasn't very happy about it. So we're gonna get him up there and try again. Send Mike off. That's a good looking entry, kind of a stomp landing, and a little forward momentum does a lot better. When you do it by yourself, I like to point upriver and I grab the rock there and boom, bow doesn't go under very far. You're pointed upriver where you can ferry out in the current.
That was like rock star. Look good. See, when it blows up, you just got to get right back in there and try again. Good job.
While the tendency of most people is to charge too hard through rapids, Mike definitely has the opposite problem. It looks like he's trying almost not to go through here. Very herky-jerky, nothing's happening, and watch this, a backstroke and a forward stroke on the same side in less than half a second, and his boat's trajectory was not changed at all through any of that. Contrast that with Guy, who starts coming, gets a good head of steam, but then just plows into the rock. Now here's Pete, the second time through the S-turn. Again, good boat angle. All the way through there, good boat angle. That sets him up to bypass the rock. Good left stroke. And here's his camera. This time he plows right through there with the left stroke and gets on the other side of the rock in the seam, and then also edges correctly at the bottom. So good job, little buddy. Getting better and better. I'll pop through here. I'm going to shoot for the slot booth. So I launch off that, go around that rock, and then lean in here and then grab a little booth to fall off. Kind of a little bony for that run, but just to mix it up, it's fun to do. Michael's second run, he's looking much better. He's got his paddle in the water going forward mostly. Now he's back to G.I. Joe and reactionary, which puts him on the rock. Still maintains everything about him, so a much better run. Here comes Guy, does not edge his right side up, and that ferry dumps him. Now he spends the rest of his time through the rapid, enjoying all the parts of the river that most people don't.
Woo! Good job, Evan. How you doing?
Oh yeah.
Covering all the bases today.
Yeah.
Now we just got to get Michael in the water.
That was actually pretty fun.
That little line you did?
Yeah.
A little more water and that'd have been cool, huh?
Now this one's on me. I came to do a flare booth, but then got distracted by the idea of doing a rock spin on the far left. And while I'm floating up studying, thinking about the rock spin, I don't drive the ferry for the flare booth. I missed my timing on my strokes. I thought I'd be alright, fell into the seam, and now I'm underwater.
Yes! We're gonna try that again.
So lining up for a straight booth is Chris Novak, and Mark held. And they are just finishing running the North Fork of the Mayo. Mark is a friend of Tracy's as well.
That's no fun. I need a swimmer belt.
You totally need to.
How you doing? I'm Pete. What was your name?
Chris.
Chris?
Yeah, that's Mark.
And you know Tracy? Yeah, I got you.
And you're part of he is the River King.
Yeah, the River King, I guess.
So Chris is doing the best he can with the little water we had today. With more water, the hole becomes better. Mark is getting in the mix a little bit, and that's all part of it. Getting in there, see what you can do. He misses his first roll, misses his second, and you see Chris ready on standby, and this is called the Hand of God Rescue. And he pulls his buddy up. Fantastic. And here you see Chris giving Mark some pointers on how he can more efficiently roll. I drop in here to mess around some more, and this is for those of you who say I flip or do things and don't put them on camera. If I mess up, I'll put it on camera just as quick as the other stuff. I catch my right edge, and I yelled and laughed kind of at the same time and ended up choking on some water. I run over to first rock, set up, try a roll. Current was weird. I don't make the roll. Set up again. Now I'm really laughing, try not to choke. I don't set up well. I miss my second roll, but I do get a little breath. Then I scrub my head on a rock. After that, I set up for a back deck roll. Start to come up, but Mark had come over to help me, and I actually banged boats and kind of messed that up. So now I hit another rock right here. Okay, that's all right, no problem. Now I set up and roll up. Laughing and out of breath and choking all at the same time was the ugliest roll sequence I've had, I'm going to say, in at least 10 or 15 years. But the point of it is, the river doesn't care who you are. We are all in between swims. And you just have to keep fighting and keep trying to stick that roll till you finally get it. Just don't give up. And here Evan comes for a straight boof over the left side. Very nice. He was pretty stoked about that. And his dad Guy coming down finally enters the left side of the boiling hole, and he's using a Dagger Mamba, a slightly different boat. So he's lined up well this time, and you can see there's no right edge pushing up. He just plugs the hole and easy peasy. All about the approach. Here's another look at that slot booth. I'm going to try to stay a little further right, which is hard to do because I got to land in that space between those two rocks. And I ended up running a kind of a rock flare down into the bottom hole that time. With a little more water, you can do that a lot more straightforward. But here comes Guy, looking good until he hits the seam right there. And he ends up bracing up and then landing up on that pillow rock. And does a good job. Keeping that right blade in the water was critical for him there. There's Chris and I told him about my rock spin move. He tried it. Almost landed it. I tried it and didn't have enough purchase, so no, I just kind of fell off backwards. Anyway, that's us and our fun day at the boiling hole, trying to get better. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.